Hope Youth Summit, the National Poetry Slam, the Berkeley Slam, All-American City, Delta Community, Chico State University, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Brandon Leake.
Here in America, hypocrisy is adequate. A phrase rarely uttered but always relevant. Etched into our history books, it reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." But are we really? Because if you pick up this book, I promise you'll see tales of America's proud patriotic history. But I bet you won't find a drop of ink depicting the tectonic struggle of ebony versus ivory over emerald green. This nation's elevation on black backs is reminiscent of African plates forcibly submerged under Eurasian pressure. And these fault lines over time have been bleached out, and we're becoming victims of reoccurring history. As ebony blood riddles these streets, it's crazy how a black person's life has found significance between white chalk outlines. My first interaction with police has handcuffed my innocence to disregard. Tell me that blameless or not, you must first fear authority. Boy, when this moment arrived, I unconsciously prayed in hopes I would survive, but why? I had done nothing wrong. The only thing I was guilty of was forgetting the tombstone that was gifted to me as I entered adolescence, forever wondering whether or not America would simply throw me away if they found out that I was still breathing past my expiration date. My fate to be gunned down like those who came before me, because God, I've always been more Martin than Malcolm, but it's getting hard because my inner peace doesn't always numb this pain, because as I walk through these streets, I can feel their glares burn through my humanity like I've only ever been 3/5 human. This perpetual ultimatum to take my soul through a swim sprint through bleach for a glimpse at equality, or to embrace my melanin having to embody the Second Amendment. For I will always be considered the weapon even with hands raised. My neck too closely resembles a pistol grip. My head's too reminiscent of a trigger. The trigger happy cells are static to pull this one back. I'm simultaneously the target, a midnight silhouette. Statistics will tell you police are good as long as they hit the black man. If you look back on history, you'll see that there were black folk on foreign land that they never asked to be on, and I am their kin. The incarnation of a dream that we will be more than African caricatures for the sake of this nation's entertainment, that we will be more than slaves for the sake of this nation's capitalism, that we will be more than target practice for the sake of this nation's soldiers. I'm only 23, but I've already felt the stress of Uncle Sam's boot against my humanity, flattening it to the ground, but I was born resilient. So yet still I rise as the rose from the concrete, but from that I've learned a numbing lesson, that my shadow is considered privilege. It means that I am still standing upright, not yet dragged down to the grave by the weight of my skin, because this pain is a bullet hole sprinkled silhouette of my personhood. That's why I say grace as I wake and before I sleep, for I've been forced to understand that this life ain't mine, I'm merely renting, and this lease is running out with every second because I've never been offered this American dream. I have only ever experienced the American nightmare. Thank you.
Now I'll use this thing. How are you guys doing? Can I take this off? Yes. I like to walk.
This is a Chucky Beat production.